Hi, my name is Peter Campbell. You're joined here by Paul Ingrassia from Reuters, managing editor of Reuters. Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm well, Pete. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So we've got Paul in to share some of your knowledge and your experience in the industry, and this is kind of in conjunction with Future News here at GCU.
Right.
And we just kind of want to know, first of all, how you got into journalism. What inspired you to become a journalist?
Future News is a great title, but I got into journalism, Pete, way in the past, about 40-some years ago, when I was at university. And really what happened was I was a big sports fan, and the truth is I kind of wanted to get free tickets to the football games. And so I signed up to cover sports for the student newspaper. And I just got addicted to journalism. It was great telling stories. It was fun interviewing people. You just felt like you were part of something larger than you are, which is a marvelous feeling.
And are there any what are the main differences between journalism in the States and journalism here in the UK and Scotland?
I don't think the differences are. There's far more similarities, Pete, than differences. Let me put it that way. I mean, both place a premium on independence, on telling the story, doing deep research and telling it from an objective, dispassionate point of view, but nonetheless not pulling your punches, going in there, and if the story's a hard-hitting story, telling it that way. So I think there's far more similarities, I think, than differences.
Excellent, yeah. And what kind of media opportunities so obviously we've just had the referendum
right
in the past week. It's been huge news. What was the coverage like around the world from your experience? How was that perceived in the rest of the world?
Well, it was a huge event. This story it played across what I would call several planes. It was a political story, it was a historical story, it was a cultural story, and it was an economic and financial story. As a matter of fact, on the night of the referendum, it was on a Thursday night. The results were announced Friday, but some of our most important coverage came actually from Australia. And the reason is because in the middle of the night, as the count was going on, and it looked like it was swinging to no, the British currency, the pound sterling, had a big rally on the global foreign exchange markets. So we were covering that, putting out snap headlines out of Australia about the big rally in the global forex market for pounds.
And what kind of opportunities for young students getting into the industry, and on the back of a huge global story like this, what kind of opportunities are there for the media?
The news industry is an industry that's going through profound transformation, and it's being driven by technology, the internet, and it's really a global communications revolution going on. As a result, a lot of traditional news organizations are really challenged financially. But the flip side of that is that the demand for news has never been higher, and all kinds of news and commentary and content organizations, BuzzFeed, et cetera, are springing up, and the Huffington Post and that sort of thing. So it's sort of what you might call capitalist creative destruction going on, but a lot of creativity too.
Yeah. Of course. And if we'd have any top tips for aspiring journalists, such as myself, what would that be? A couple of top tips.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is don't underestimate what you can do. In our case, one of the youngest journalists at Reuters actually ended up covering this referendum for us on the scene in Scotland, one of the biggest stories in the world. And it was partly luck on his part, but a whole lot of pluck, if you will, too. In other words, he happened to be in the right place at the right time, but he made the most of it. So, I would just say seize opportunities when they present themselves. That's a really important thing.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Paul. We're going to wrap up there. I know you're a man short of time, but
okay.
Thank you very much for joining us here at GCU, and thank you very much. Cheers.
Pleasure to be with you.
Thanks.
Okay, Pete. Thanks.